What do you do when your dream dies? What do you do when all hope is gone? It was 2013. I had just graduated master's with a first class in mechanical engineering in Russia at that time. I was married and my wife had just given birth to our first child. I was so expectant and hopeful. My life was progressing in the right trajectory. You see, when I was small, I was told, go to school, graduate with good grades, and life will be rosy for you. Oh, I held on to this formula as if it was the gospel truth. I believed this with all my heart. So that was the reason why I told my wife it was time for us to leave Russia and head back to Nigeria for greener pastures. On getting to Nigeria, I couldn't secure a job. I roamed the streets of Abuja and I couldn't find a job. I had put my application in several parastatals and even in oil companies all around the country, and I could still not find a job. The only job I could secure was in a factory. And I said to myself, it's better I hold on to this job while the other companies are still reviewing my CV. Maybe somebody somewhere will remember me and will call me for interviews and get me employed. At this job in the factory, I thought if I put in all my energy, maybe somebody somewhere will recognize me, somebody will notice me and either give me a promotion or will recommend me to another job. But in doing this, I was involved in an industrial accident. I had my hand broken and I was taken to the hospital. On coming out of the hospital, I met another shocker. I was told that all the salaries of all the workers were being slashed by half. I thought to myself, how do I cope? I was managing the take home from this work was barely taking me home. And now the salary was being slashed. So I went to the boss and I got the confirmation. There and then I wrote my resignation letter and I submitted and I left the job. I left that job with the expectation that maybe some of these companies that I had put my applications in will call me for an interview at least. Or the federal government or federal parastatal somewhere will call me for an interview and get me employed. But those jobs were not forthcoming. We had begun to spend the little of our savings that we had. I begged with my wife to bear with me while I searched for the job, but the jobs still were not forthcoming. At this point, we had spent all our savings. We resorted to borrowing. We were borrowing from relatives left, right, and center, and we became the talk of the town. Things were going south. In fact, I almost lost my son due to malnutrition in this situation. The worst day of my life was when I walked into the room after roaming the streets of Abuja and my wife lifted a bulb of onion and she said, "This is the last thing we have in this house." That night, I felt dejected. I felt so bad. As a man, I could not provide for my family. I locked myself in the bathroom and I cried. What do you do when your dream dies? What do you do when all hope is lost? That night, I cried out and I cried out to God. I said, God, please show me an opportunity where I will never return to such a situation again. And if you show me that opportunity, I will hold on to it like my life depended on it. Because I hated that situation where as a man, I could not provide for my family. Thankfully, some years later, I came across this opportunity I had prayed for and my life turned around. Okay, I'm thankful to God for what God has been using me to do in the lives of a lot of people that are around me. Now, I want you to think of 3 things that you would do, that you'll be doing right now if money was not an objection, if money was not a hindrance? What are those three things you would rather be doing right now if money was not hindering you? Think of those things. Reflect on those things. Now, what if these things that you thought about were possible? Now, a lot of people have given up on their dreams, working 9 to 5 with the hope that something somewhere will change, that if good fortune somewhere will come along and help them live the life of their dreams. Many people have given up on their dreams. Many people have taken their dreams to be mere wishes that they had when they were small and have forgotten or given up totally on their dreams. Many people have settled for whatever life throws at them. What if there was a chance for you to take back your life? What if there was a possibility that you could regain your life? What if you could create your own economy? What if there was a slight chance that you could become your own boss? What if the concept of leverage was achievable? You see, Paul Getty said something. He said, I would rather have 1% of the effort of 100 people than give 100% of my own effort. That is leverage. Today, I have 3 questions for you. Do you believe that your dreams are still alive? Do you believe you are worthy of success? Are you willing to give it just one more try? If your answer to all 3 questions are yes, get back to whoever shared this video with you for more information. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.